everyone. I was in my groove, and I hope you all were grooving too to our amazing DJ. And as I said in the chat, that was recorded and produced using all open source software. So if you have aspirations to be the next DJ, the greatest one of the world, know that you can do it using open source. Hello, I am Demetrius Cheatham, the Senior Director of Diversity and Inclusion Strategy at GitHub, which is the world's largest open source platform of over 100 million developers. And I am here to welcome you to the 2023 All-In Graduation Ceremony. Yay, we made it. We are here today to celebrate an amazing group of students who have once again risen to the occasion of flexibility, resilience, and just all around excellence, as they've had to navigate us growing the program and scaling at a very accelerated rate, while also navigating external factors. We're talking about recession, hiring freezes, massive layoffs across the entire tech industry, which impacted funding, internships, and entry-level opportunities. But nevertheless, as you can see on this next slide, we had over 400 students who started this program. These are the elite students that we're celebrating today, who learned new skills, persevered, and completed the all-in curriculum. Our all-in 2023 graduates, you all have earned the backing of GitHub and pledges from our corporate and industry partners to support you with your career journeys, because we need you in tech. We need you in open source. This year, we had 55 graduates, a record 100 schools. I can't even tell y'all, we were planning on 26 schools, and we ended up with students represented across 100 schools, 112 to be exact. We set a goal to scale by 10x and reach 300 students, but we reached over 400, 403 to be exact. Approximately 80% of you, when you signed up for the program, you said you had little to no experience with GitHub. Yet over the course of the last 4 months, we've been looking at your contributions graph, and y'all are just doing it now. Several of you hit over 100 contributions in less than 6 months. You all have participated in hackathons. You've organized your own campus events. You've far exceeded expectations this year. But no need for me to tell you about it. Let's hear from our very own all-in graduates, Jerry Ortega and Sion Lee, about your experiences.
Of course. Hello, everyone. My name is Jerry Ortega. I am a senior here at UCLA, majoring in economics. And with the All-In program, it is an absolute honor and pleasure to be part of this community, as I've been able to take GitHub courses that were exceptional towards my development and learning how to code, for example, how to do GitHub, merge conflicts, pull requests, and doing the 7 optional courses. And in addition to that, it was all normal difficulty towards me. It was fun, and I was able to contribute over 3 projects towards the All-In community. And speaking of which, I've been able to join the Slack channel, where I'm able to interact with all these 403 students. And what meant to me is just to learn the different backgrounds, diversity, and culture from all these people. And if speaking of culture, even my time at All-In, I've been able to create an organization or a club called T Club that helps our fellow interns, students, and current employees get to know each other, network, socialize, and of course, all have fun. And speaking of which, it is an honor to have the opportunity to stay in All-In even after graduation, so I can learn from new skills from other people and of course have more fun along the way. We even also had the opportunity to participate in several hackathons, and I'd like to turn it over to my fellow All-In graduate, Seon Lee, to tell you all about that.
Great. Thank you, Jerry. Hi, my name is Hohyun. I'm a second year at Pomona College, trying to decide between applied math and CS. I actually came to college as a public policy major, but I pivoted into CS math because I feel it teaches me how to build tools to support causes I'm passionate about. I see myself working in the intersection of tech and human rights in my future. And as Jerry said, I had the opportunity to participate in the All-In Hackathon co-hosted by All In, and Major League Hacking. My team won Best Hack that served the community for a crowdsourced interactive map where users can find mutual aid resources like free menstrual products, food pantries, and accessible bathrooms. I teamed up with Emily and Ajay, who are also part of GitHub All In, and Shittis, whom I met through the hackathon. This was my first experience leading a team with my idea and delegating work to other people across different time zones, which was only possible because this was a virtual hackathon, and I also like that I didn't have to travel for a hackathon. I'm really glad that I had a space where I could build up on an idea that directly hits home to the reason I started learning CS. Outside of this, I also got help from GitHub All In to organize a hackathon in my own college, the Claremont Colleges. I'm actually wearing the hackathon t-shirt right now. Here. And I reached out to Dimitrios and she connected me to the pizza fund run by Major League Hacking, where we were able to get funding to buy food for our hackathon. I also was able to get help from All In members to fix a GitHub merge conflict that bothered the team for several months, which I'm really glad about. When I started college, I had no idea I'd be able to study CS because I thought it was only for quote unquote wizards. And I want to thank All In for helping me get my foot in the door. Thank you so much.
Jerry, Sion, thank you all so very much. You all did such an amazing job. And as Jerry said, he created, the T Club that he used in other organizations that he was part of, and he brought it here to All In, and so many of you participated in that. Sion, the project that you came up with and you actually won for that hackathon was so dope. I was like, everybody needs that in their community. So I know why you won the best hack for a community. And one of the things that we encourage our students was that you don't have to have any experience. There is a place for you at the hackathon. And so we're so glad that you all had that opportunity. Now, if you attended last year graduation for our first year pilot, we did a lot more intensive training, a 12-week project to be exact. But because we are trying to scale to reach more students, we tried some things differently, including streamlining the curriculum that Jerry mentioned and going away from the large technical projects to the hackathon concepts for many more students to gain experience. Now, while we still have some tweaking to do, and we will be working on that for the coming year's program, we are especially going to have more opportunities to hear from and connect with leaders in the tech industry. We did some, but not enough. But hopefully we are making up for that tonight, because I have the pleasure, absolute pleasure of introducing two of the most amazing, I have to say this, badass people in all of open source for our graduation fireside chat, Dr. Danae Ford Robinson and Molly Das. Danae Ford Robinson is a senior researcher at Microsoft Research in the Saints Group and an affiliate assistant professor in the Human-Centered Design and Engineering Department at the University of Washington. Her research lies at the intersection of online communities and empirical software engineering. Her latest research investigates open source software as a research resource for the broader society, trust in AI code generation tools, and how to empower the next generation of software developers. She received her BS and MS in computer science from North Carolina State University. She also received her PhD in computer science and graduate minor in cognitive science from North Carolina State University. She is also a recipient of the National GEM Consortium Fellowship, National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship, and Microsoft Research PhD Fellowship. Her research publications can be found under her pen name, Danae Ford. More information about her latest research can be found on her website, http://danaeford.me. Molly Das is the Senior Director of the Innovation Labs at Cisco. Her leadership experience spans across engineering, sales, and innovation, and it empowers her to translate big market transactions, technical details, and business trends into relevant customer and revenue-focused deliverables. One of the things about Molly, she says she thrives on ambiguity and loves to get to the root of messy problems to best determine the most efficient path forward. Inclusive spaces that engage diverse teams for optimal success are a critical part of her value system. She is a part of Cisco's social justice actions, a member of Cisco's Human Rights Advisory Council, and she serves as the lead for Cisco's Inclusive Language Initiative. In the past, she has served as the co-lead for the LGBTQ+ Employee Resource Group. And in that organization, she led the development of formal allyship training for Cisco employees, as well as the leadership development for LGBTQ+ employees. I just told y'all, they are amazing. And we are fortunate to have them here with us tonight. But as we did last year, this fireside chat will not be hosted by me, but our very own all-in graduates. So I will turn this over to Brennan, Bryce, and Michaela. Brennan? Oops, I just realized that Brennan is not up here. I hope he's not having technical difficulties joining. So I actually have the question that's been on a lot of the students' minds. So if you don't mind, hear from me just a little bit more. So one of the things that I was talking about earlier was about the layoffs in tech. So not only are our students, our graduates, they're competing against each other for limited spots, but also against their classmates at their respective schools. And now you have thousands of others who actually have technical experience who are now looking for work and competing with them as well. So Danae and Molly, what advice would you give to the students to help them stand out against so many others? And if for anyone that might not be able to get a job or an internship right away, what do you recommend that they do so that they don't leave the tech industry?
I'm happy to jump in first real quick.
Please.
Thank you so much, first of all, for this amazing intro. My goodness, like outstanding. But one thing I first want to acknowledge is that it is understandable to be confused and shook and not sure where things go. Even as a person in industry right now, I am also unsure. So I first want to kind of make sure I validate and let you all know that those feelings are reasonable and valid. So that's first things first. And then second thing, I kind of want to make sure I highlight some of the core things that are kind of top of mind for me if I was kind of a new student graduating or even transitioning careers. Something that would be important for me is to make sure I have an online website, for instance. So thinking about how people can find me, especially since we're living in this remote hybrid world, having people be able to find my profile, find my website, find the work I've done is really important. Even being on the other side of that, for instance, being able to hire those people. So I'm looking for interns, I'm looking for colleagues or visiting researchers. I'm trying to see if they have an online profile. So I would definitely recommend folks considering, making an online profile. Sometimes universities let you hold on to your email address for a while. So you can also sometimes host the website. You also have websites to host your website. I know I did that when I was a student. I've definitely leaned into kind of like getting that access kind of loaded up. Another, for sure, really important thing right now is taking advantage of the networks that are available. So Demetrius has this all in open source initiative right now. You all have been able to build amazing, strong bonds with one another. This is your cohort. This is your new family of people who you have questions about transitioning careers. These are going to be the people you reach back and ask questions to, be vulnerable with, ask about networking opportunities. People tell you about places that are hiring. Leverage those networks. You've already started building them within this program, even outside of this program. That's going to be super important. So those are kind of the two that I'm just sticking to for right now.
Danny, I love what you're saying. And hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. And I think Brennan's on the call. So, all right, we got that. Okay, cool. Plus one to everything, plus, to everything that Danny was saying. I think networking includes, I noticed a question around LinkedIn. Yes, on LinkedIn. Yes, on your GitHub profile. Make sure that that's, point. I'm sure all of you have that already. And start to network with the contributors or even the maintainers of the projects that you follow. And especially the ones that you find really interesting. As well, Eduardo said, at local groups. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. So I think just kind of expanding your network and thinking about all the different ways or diverse ways to get your skill sets out there and leading with your skills. I think that what we know about tech is that, I've been in tech since the ancient times. I graduated in 1999, y'all. So I've been here for a minute. And what I know is that it is all about the skill sets that you provide. So talk about, the programming languages that the projects or open source tools that you've leveraged. Talk about the day in the life from an innovation perspective of any type of new concept or project that you've worked on, and what was the challenge, what was the action that you did, and what was the result, and being able to just kind of articulate challenge, action, result over and over again. That's going to actually be really valuable in this very fast moving and fast paced economy to articulate your value and differentiate yourself amongst the rest. And then last but not least, I think, depending on how you feel and like what medium works best for you, blogs, YouTube videos, even for me as an ongoing learner of tech, I follow, regardless of age or background, I follow the right folks on YouTube and Insta. Little intimidated by TikTok. I think it's an assault on my brain. That's more like my age speaking likely than anything else, but that's where I would start.
And those are amazing, amazing answers. And my apologies, I missed Brennan earlier because as you can see, he was coming in from outer space. So Brennan, I'm coming back to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to piggyback off that question. Sometimes when we're faced with those difficulties where companies have to lay us off or we're fighting for positions, how do y'all, or how should we try to keep that motivation within ourselves?
Molly, do you want to go first this time?
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to. Keep in mind, that's a tough question. Like that's I'm sighing because that's life's work in progress, is how do you always stay true to yourself, and how do you make sure you remember like what I call the priority pyramid. Like what's on the top of your priority pyramid is like the place that I go back to, at least for myself, whenever I feel like, oh gosh, this is really hard, and oh gosh, I need to like get somewhere, but I'm finding that I'm hitting a bunch of blocks. I think that I'll just quote something that I've heard Oprah say once, which is luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Prep, prep, prep. Continue building and expanding your skill set, and keep your eyes out for the opportunity, but know that when those meet, people call that luck. I think that that's just the right time. So while you're trying to think about, okay, how do I maneuver around this particular barrier? Think about what else you can produce, how else you can augment your skill set, what else can you learn, because that is all prep for that right opportunity. And that's just going to at least provide a really good reward in terms of the portfolio that you bring to the market.
Absolutely, +1 on that. I'm also going to take another perspective too on that. Is, so when people get laid off, I think sometimes it's really easy to feel like it's something that you did, right? And I just want to kind of communicate that just because I've seen so many folks get laid off, a lot of my colleagues and friends, I've seen it myself, and it's kind of like, it feels really personal. And I want to kind of encourage folks to know that some of these things are happening that are so out of your control, have nothing to do with you. It is not an indicator of how good you are as a developer, as an individual, as a worker. So I really want to emphasize that that perspective as well. And sometimes taking that time, if people do get laid off, folks sometimes take that time to kind of reflect and figure out if it's the time to transition careers or to think about how they're applying their technical skills to a different field overall. So you can still like be coding, but maybe you're applying it rather than working at like a big tech company, maybe you're working at like a fashion company, right? So thinking about those opportunities to lean into your passions and looking at these as kind of a great reflection period. I think that's what I've seen a lot of my friends and colleagues share online on LinkedIn. And I really like that because it's given me, even, again, I could be, I'm kind of a part of being at a tech company, also wary of it. So I'm thinking about if it did happen to me, what were those things that would be comforting for me to know, and opportunities that I could find, the silver lining of it all. So definitely encourage folks to think that perspective as well.
All right, Bryce.
Hello. I'm Bryce. I'm a student at BMCC for computer science. Yeah, one thing that I really want to know, especially is like tech, how it kind of tends to naturally kind of separate groups of people. And I just want to know, how are you as, people of color, how are you breaking into tech, and how would you suggest that other people who come from the same background maybe break into tech? And if you've put any thought into it, what would be the number one barrier that you've seen keeping people back from breaking into tech, especially Black people?
Danae, I'll defer to you.
Sure. So for me, first I want to kind of give context to my experience first to kind of know where my answer is coming from. I identify as a Black woman born in Maryland, moved to North Carolina to finish school. And for me, my tech entry was my dad, who was interested in tech and didn't have a formal degree in computer science. Interested, went to college, had to leave college, like for family reasons. So for me, I think sometimes what is a barrier for people is that they don't have a template of some people who've done it. And some people who've done it and changed to something else, like my dad, for instance. And I feel like having a representation, or at least putting yourself in places where at least you could be running into someone. So at your, at your schools, if they have meetups or amazing tech speakers coming in and you get to hear about people's journeys, I feel like those are great spaces to be in to kind of reduce those barriers, because it's hard to know what you can't do until you know it exists, right? So for me, I think that's one of the biggest barriers. And because even when I meet some of my friends, I'm talking about software development or open source, or I'm like, yeah, have you read about all these cool tools you can learn to code? They're like, it seems so hard, because they hear about the challenges people have had. But I think as you meet more people who are going through it, they'll tell you, yeah, there are challenges, but they also tell you that there are great successes and it's worth it. And I feel like that's been a big part of even my journey still, when I think about what I want to do next. Like, oh, that sounds really hard. They're like, yes, it's kind of daunting, but you can pick it up. So I would encourage folks to kind of get themselves in those rooms.
Thank you so much.
Great answer. I won't follow that. Thank you, Dr. Ford.
Hi, I'm Michaela Evans. I'm a student at North Carolina Central University, majoring in information technology. I plan to complete my first internship ever this summer. So as a first-time graduate of the All-In program, I would just like to receive some parting advice to inspire and motivate me and my fellow classmates in our careers in our future.
Yeah, if I may. Well, first of all, congrats on your internship. That's awesome. Parting advice is, number one, please don't be too hard on yourself. Know that you bring an incredible wealth of knowledge and skill set to the economy. I mentioned before, we are in a skills-based, information-based economy, and there is a lot of opportunity. Finding them is what's hard. So per Dr. Robinson's point earlier, leverage your networks, leverage the playbook that is being built in real time about how to navigate navigate the tech industry and being a person of color. But I would just say, know that you will figure it out. Trust yourself. You've gotten this far. And like, hands down, one of the hardest things that I ever accomplished was finishing college and going through my first internship. And the other thing that was just super hard for me was learning how to code. And that was back in the day, and like, it's the minute you do those things, you just realize, like, take a moment to reflect and look at how far you've come and what you've learned, and enjoy and reflect and let that give you data. Please make sure that that is data for you to have confidence in trying new things. Hopefully that allows for you to just kind of have that confidence and kind of be able to just say, you know what, come what may, I've come this far, I've done this, and these are actually really challenging things. And I'll be able to tackle what else comes forward. But if you kind of create like the realm support around you, when it comes to what I call birds of a feather, right? Folks you have things in common with, folks that you're sharing projects with and learning from each other, I think that's going to be huge, because the community will help when, we always feel a little bit lost. Community always helps in those moments. So that would be my parting advice, is just to have confidence in yourself. You got this. It's gonna be good.
Thank you.
Yes, Molly, when you were talking, I was thinking about my first internship in college and how nervous I was and how I was stumbling a lot during that internship. And it was a great learning experience for me, because I believed in myself to kind of will this internship into existence and to like go in it with an open mind. And of course, things don't always go as planned. So, learning a lot about resiliency, that was one thing for sure. Learning in software development and in computer science, learn a lot about like, all right, things aren't always gonna go my way, and I feel like sometimes this career attracts people who are used to being like achievers. So you kind of, you meet that wall and you're like, all right, or you have a bug in your code and you're like, okay, I have to step away for a moment and come back. And then it comes to you, but when you have to step away, you kind of sometimes feel defeated a little bit. So one thing that I really liked about this question, Michaela, was thinking about how I'm able to kind of overcome those challenges. I'm thinking about how I would like seek feedback and learn from it. That was a thing that was really important to me when I was writing code as an intern, when I was an undergrad. And I feel like it's hard to do. Something I did one internship at this company, and one thing they said before was like feedback is a gift. And I've never thought of it that way. But I feel like as I've gone over time, like ever since I did an internship, I started thinking about it as, all right, this is an advantage because people are willing to pour into my career, pour into my growth. I'm not going to know everything, and that's okay. And I'm going to strive to get better, get 1% better every day, or every week, or whatever your timeline is for that. And I feel like when I started looking at it with an open mind like that, it shifted my perspective on the challenges that I was getting faced with. So biggest advice or learning would be to for sure seek the feedback, and learn from it over the time period.
Thanks,
Wow.
that was great advice.
Yeah, I mean, you all, you can see why I have to create more opportunities for you to hear from people in tech, because they just give us so much wisdom and so much just knowledge. And someone, I think Anwan put this in, which is one of my colleagues at GitHub, he put it in the chat. If we had been able to hear this advice when we were in school, believe me, we would not have made a lot of the mistakes that we had. So Brennan, Bryce, Michaela, thank you so much for those amazing, amazing questions. And Molly and Danae, I am extremely grateful you were able to spend your time with us today. And equally important, I should have said this in the introduction, thank you both so much for all that you have done for the All-In program over the course of the last 2 years. Y'all both have been truly day ones. Cisco is a corporate partner, and Molly, you have done so much to help us understand how to be an even better partner for Cisco, which in turn make us better partners for all of our corporate partners so that our students can be prepared for opportunities and long and successful careers. And Danae, listen, not only has Danae helped with All-In for Students, she's helped us with just about every other initiative that we have going on with All-In. Like, she's a perpetual committee member of everything. The open source DEI survey, where we heard from over 7,000 people in open source, the maintainers listening tour, where we captured the voices of over 300 open source maintainers and community leaders, and the soon to be launched, literally in a couple of weeks, open source, the All-In for Maintainers program. And last but not least, because I got to do a little humble brag here, Danae, you helped me fulfill a lifelong dream of mine. I am going to be soon a published author of a chapter of a book that Danae is co-editing, and it's called Software Engineering, Diversity and Inclusion for Open Source Leaders. So Danae, thank you so much for everything, and thank you to both of you for truly just being friends and represent our corporate partners. And so that concludes our fireside chat. And now we'll move right along here. I want to just talk about kind of some unsung heroes of the All-In program. And these are our professors and our university partners. I mentioned to you all that we were looking to have students from 26 schools this year. That was our goal. we reached out to schools and they started forwarding it to other schools and then other schools and then other schools. And then we ended up with over 100 schools represented, 112 to be exact, in the program this year. And I'm already seeing people actually sign up for next year's program from even more schools. We could not do this without the universities that you all attend, as well as the professors. Our professors are the ones that get this information to you. As a matter of fact, over 85% of you, when you signed up for the program, said that you heard about the program from one of your professors. So we just want to take this moment to acknowledge all the schools that you see on this screen. If you look, you see another screen and then another screen. These are all the schools that are represented. And what we're going to do now is play a video from one of our university partners. She's Dr. Lynette Wood from Shaw University. We're going to replay the video from last year's graduation. So it's going to seem familiar to those of you that attended last year, but there's a special reason why we're showing her video again. So let's go ahead and scroll through these other schools, and then let's get to Dr. Lynette Wood's video.
My name is Dr. Lynette Wood. I'm at Shaw University, and I'm the Dean of the School of Business and Professional Studies. As the Dean, I provide leadership for our strategic planning. I also want to be sure that our mission and vision are before us as faculty, students, administrators every day, and we are focused on building dynamic futures, one student at a time. A program like All In supports the work that I do because it provides opportunities for students to get experiential learning, which is a part of our mission at the School of Business and Professional Studies. And that experiential learning is done in a professional environment so the students get access to role models as far as, in addition, they get access to instruction. They get a chance to grow, not just in the classroom, but outside of the classroom. And that growth is invaluable. I believe that the lives of the students that I selected to participate have been affected by them being able to grow as far as even their confidence. Before the All In program, what they knew was that they were relatively good students, but there was a lot that they had to learn. I believe that by being in the program, the exposure has helped them to gain confidence as well as skills and to have an idea of what it takes to be competitive in the technology sector. To me, All In means that you're going to give it your all, 100%. There's a certain level of commitment, collaboration, and enthusiasm. I never think of All In a half-hearted way, so by that name, it says that there's going to be intensity and 100% support, and I've seen that.
You all just heard from Dr. Lynette Wood. I can tell you when we started this program last year, Shaw University was our very first university partner that signed up. And Dr. Wood was just still is someone that would constantly call us on the phone. Demetrius, I have more students for you. Here's how we can make the program better. Have you thought about this? Oh, one of my students are not showing up. Let me call them on the phone right now. She just went above and beyond such that Shaw University had 6 students last year in the All In program. All 6 were able to get summer internships last summer, as well as callbacks for this upcoming summer. And so when we started the program this year, I noticed that Dr. Wood hadn't sent any students from Shaw over. So of course, in true fashion, I picked up the phone and called. And I was just disheartened to learn that Dr. Wood had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. But I can tell you all, I spoke to Dr. Wood this morning. I still talk to her about every couple of weeks. She is fighting. And I believe she is going to beat this, and she's going to come back even stronger. And even when she's going through her chemotherapy, she's still calling to check on the All In program. She's still sending students over. And so with that, we wanted to do something special this year to honor her, to honor professors and just anybody in the All In program that just embodies her strength, her drive, her determination, her perseverance, and her commitment to everyone, making everyone better. So this year we have created the Dr. Lynette Wood All In Spirit Award. And we're going to award this to a student who represents all of those things and those qualities that we just said that Dr. Wood embodies. And so we are proud to present this inaugural award to Emily Atunan. Emily, if you are in the All-In program, you know her. On Slack, I mean, every single day, she's been pushing us and saying, let's go, we got this. I've had the opportunity to, just be motivated by Emily as well. It's not easy running this program, you all. We're trying to do a lot. And some of my worst days, I'll look into Slack and Emily has sent me a message just telling me how much this program means to her. And I remember in that moment, that's why we're doing it. So all of us have been very, very fortunate to work and to learn and just to be connected to Emily. So we're going to award Emily a $1,000 cash award, as well as we're going to match that $1,000 by donating it to a nonprofit organization of Dr. Wood's choice. But I don't want you to hear all about what I think of Emily. I want you all to hear from Emily yourselves. Emily, congratulations, and I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Demetrius. And Demetrius just dropped this on me, I don't know what, not even 6 hours ago. So I'm still a little weepy and shocked and overwhelmed in a good way. So I wrote a little bit of a speech and I'm going to read it from there. It's going to be a little bit more formal than everybody else. So just please bear with me. I am honored to receive the inaugural Dr. Lynette Wood All-In Spirit Award. This recognition holds a special significance for me as it underscores the importance of experiential learning in the rapidly evolving world of technology. The All-In program has given me so much hope as a midlife disabled woman who has not worked due to disability in over 20 years. With the onset of the remote work world in 2020, I saw a window. Because of the All-In program, I learned valuable skills not taught in my college courses. What you're all teaching us is vital for a career in tech, but the hope you've given me, and hopefully all of us, is priceless. Thank you for having me in this space with y'all. I want to express my deepest gratitude to Demetrius, Kamali, Rizel, Dr. Lynette Wood, and all of the organizers and partners of All-In for their commitment to fostering diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility in the field of technology. This award is a testament to their recognition of the value that individuals from diverse backgrounds, including those with disabilities, bring to the tech industry. I also want to recognize the enormous contribution of individuals from diverse backgrounds and what each of you brings to the tech sector. Your unique perspectives and experiences enrich the tech industry and drive innovation. It's been an honor to be in the 2023 cohort with you. I can hardly wait to see what we all accomplish. We must continue to foster an inclusive environment that embraces diversity in tech and ensures that all individuals have equal opportunities to succeed. Your dedication to promoting diversity and inclusion in technology is a driving force. I share this award with all of you working to make the tech world more equitable and accessible for everyone. I am humbled and, here we go, deeply grateful to receive the Dr. Lynette Wood All-In Spirit Award. This recognition further strengthens my resolve to continue advocating for diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. I promise to remain committed to being all in creating a more inclusive, equitable, and diverse tech industry where everyone can thrive. I will be paying the gifts of being all in, forward, and back for as long as I am on this planet. Thank you so very much, and congratulations to everyone.
Emily, okay. Emily and I cried on the phone together this morning. So thank you, Emily. Thank you for everything. Like I said, you're why we do this work. You're why we get up every morning and continue to do this work. And she said that she shares this award with you. She truly means that, because today when I called her to tell her that she was receiving an award, she was like, wait a minute, there's so many others that you can give this to. She almost didn't want to take it. So please know that she truly is celebrating with you all. And thank you for your contributions, Emily. And I can't wait to see the amazing leader you're going to be in open source. Thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, where am I? Okay. So now that was my drum roll. It is a time that we've all been waiting for. It's time to celebrate all of you. So take a bow, celebrate each other as we do our official All In 2023 graduation walk. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. You all, I'm loving all the energy and all the love in chat. Again, you all are official All In 2023 graduates. You may, well, I guess we don't have tassels, but don't worry, turn whatever it is you want to turn. I guess just turn up. But definitely please stay in touch and make sure you know that we have the All In LinkedIn group. And you all will be switched over to the All In alumni Slack channel as well. So once you're all in forever. And as you all saw after that heartfelt speech from Emily, Camille, who's like the driving force behind all of All In this year, had to skip through quickly a few slides. And so I just want to take a moment to also recognize our All In corporate partners. I am so very fortunate and privileged. I get to come to work every day for a company like GitHub, who lets me work on the things and create the things that I'm truly passionate about, which is creating a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive tech industry. And I get to focus on the coolest part of tech, which is open source. So GitHub are amazing. Some of my colleagues are here on the phone. My boss is up here, hi Sid. And we are just so very thankful and so grateful for all of you to allow us to do this work for you. But I also want to recognize Microsoft, Cisco, Red Hat. Like, oh my gosh, you're going to hear from the Chief People Officer of Red Hat shortly, but Red Hat has been an amazing, amazing partner, especially considering that was my former employer that I used to work for. Not only did they hire 6 interns last year, they created 8 new positions specifically for All In students, and several of you have those positions, and I'm very, very excited for you. Intel remains an amazing partner. Fidelity, Dan O'Connelly is here on the call. Fidelity is an amazing, amazing partner. They just signed up for another 2 years of the All In program. And so you're going to see amazing opportunities coming from Fidelity. And let me tell you how much Fidelity is all in. Our CEO, meaning my boss's boss's boss, will actually be meeting with the Chief Information Officer of Fidelity next week or in a couple weeks. And they slacked me and said, All In, we're going to make sure that program is on the agenda. So this program and all of you and your stories are going to be reaching the highest heights in these major corporations. So thank you, Fidelity. This year, we were joined with Lockheed Martin, which many of you actually applied for those scholarships for them. They made scholarships available for community college students as well as four-year university students. That's almost unheard of. And they were renewable scholarships. And they set aside some specifically for the All-In students. So I'm so excited that some of you all were able to actually receive some of those scholarships. And then NASA. NASA has made a huge 6-figure commitment to All In. We were not able to do the in-person hackathon this year, but that funding will go towards the hackathon in September. And all of you are invited to that as well. So in the alumni Slack channel, you'll be getting more information. So thank you all to our corporate partners, as well as NASA and everyone that, you know, just really, really, truly helps this program run. And so a graduation would not be complete without an official farewell address from a keynote speaker. So as I mentioned, Red Hat is an amazing partner of All In, and we couldn't think of anyone better this year than to hear from Jen Dudek, who is their Senior Vice President and Chief People Officer, to give you all some final words. Not final, I'm coming back after Jen.
Hello, All In graduates. My name is Jen Dudek. I am the Senior Vice President and Chief People Officer at Red Hat. So let me start with sharing why diversity is so important at Red Hat and in the tech community at large. All In is an amazing program, and I was so excited when folks like Clarence and Demetrius got me involved, because you represent an important way that we can bring diversity into our workforce in terms of your backgrounds, your race, your different ideas and perspectives that you'll bring. So we know we are a better company when we are more diverse. We know we are stronger. We know we are more innovative when we have individuals who bring different lived experiences, who come from different backgrounds, whether that's different gender, different race, different ethnicity, different parts of the world, who bring different perspectives based on those lived experiences, based on those different backgrounds. These are things that make us better. These are things that make us more representative of our customers. They're things that make us more innovative. So we know this to be true. We know this makes us better. What we also know, and we have work to do, is that the only way we can be a place that we can be as diverse as we would like to be is we must always strive for greater inclusion. We must always strive to be more equitable. And so those are things that I think about quite a lot, if not daily, in my job. We need to continue to find new places to find great talent. And again, this is where I'm so grateful that I got to be a part of and participate and bring all into Red Hat so that we have this connection. You are amazing technical talent. You're an amazing community of individuals with amazing skills. And we are excited that we can create a place that we can bring you into a company like Red Hat. So you're important as a community. You are important as individuals towards who we will become with our technology, towards who we will become as companies. You will bring us to this next place of where we want to be. In closing, congratulations. Never doubt how amazing you are. Never doubt that you will bring perspectives that many others will never have, whether that's where you're at in your career, whether that's your lived experience. Never doubt that. Be curious. Find something you didn't know and go try it. Be afraid, but don't let that stop you. It's okay to be afraid. Confidence will come. You will find individuals like me who will have your back. They will support you. They will help you grow and learn. You will do amazing things in your career, I have no doubt. I look forward to staying connected with many of you. I look forward to mentoring any of you or connecting with any of you that would like to do so on LinkedIn if you haven't already. Congratulations, be well, do great things, enjoy every moment of what's to come.
Thank you. That was so great to hear from Jen. And I can tell you all, she is sincere in everything that she said. Last year, I just talked about the 6 interns for Red Hat. She personally mentored and sponsored 2 of them, meeting with them every other week. And she said she's going to do that again this summer. So please find her on LinkedIn, definitely connect with her. But, just thank you. The slide says it all. Thank you to all of you, like every single person that's on this call, especially our students, or as Dr. Danae Ford Robinson says, thank you to our scholars. I love when she called you all that because that's truly who you are. You are amazing. You are going to do great things. You are the future of tech. We need every single one of you. Stay close to us. You have the backing of GitHub now and a platform of 100 million developers. Our corporate partners, you are proudly going to wear the all-in badge for the rest of your lives. And not only will you wear it on LinkedIn, you'll also wear it because we're going to give you all hoodies. I mean, what's a tech program without a hoodie, right? So right after graduation, you all will receive an email with the link for you to order your hoodie so that it will be sent out to you, as well as stickers and all of those things. Please, 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 we can only grow this program if you spread the word to others. We have big goals, you all. We are going to touch 5,000 lives over the next 3 years. And we can't do that unless you pass the word to more and more people. And I would be remiss. I really hope that you all can do this for me. I want you to blow the chat up with just love and appreciation for Camelie Jennings. We've talked a lot about so many transitions in the tech industry, and GitHub was not immune to that. And so we've had some shortages on our team and our org and our company. and Camille Jennings stepped in. She was the one that kept this thing running. And you all heard from her probably way more than you heard from me. And so Camille, I want to take this moment to publicly acknowledge you. Thank you all so very much. We'll see you in the alumni group. And until next year, congratulations, you all, and have an amazing, amazing summer. Enjoy the DJ for the next 5 minutes. Bye.